No.
Yeah, I'm glad I was not flying over to White House.
Oh my gosh, were you supposed to?
But they do not say you don't. Okay, broadcast is live. And, I'm gonna have to, do you have your phone?
Yeah.
I'm going to email you the script because I wasn't able to.
Oh, okay.
And for the announcements, we'll just use the one on the newsletter. Hello there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday service for today. Because of the wind and rain, hopefully all of you are watching safely at home right now. We're going to begin the service with 1 minute of silent meditation. So if you please put your hands together in gasho. Naman navits, naman navits, naman navits. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. And so now we'll have chanting of Shoshinge on page 20 in your red service books. And please, gasho to begin.
上手信じ信心天異名にこふるむ運むしげみょむあん百神剣兄弟狂気即道長で合悪種一切天幕本部に門神如来空霊願文言東大証芸者全員名文なりけみなる本願念部邪見教満学修上信行十字人に南中市南昔インド祭天使論芸中華自治思考層現代小公正書類妙如来本税置き釈迦如来両が千一種道明観天寺流十大寺主とせ畜の財派無権先生大乗無情報召喚議事小安卓天智南洋六六新行異行四道楽北年美ダブ本願自年即時入品上意の上昇如来語法大悲偶然用天神菩薩造論世奇妙無下法如来永州たら謙信寺高専王朝大水願こういう本願右栄光異道群上昇一心非入空六大法界百入大永州州特殊連芸造世界即昇進上発昇進入門の人間人類入生寺四寺要言本寺鈍難病天使上皇乱症老さない三号粒子十条教文章宣教気楽法天神菩薩論中芸報道因果天聖願方言栄光ゆたり少女心唯心人悪善本部新人法承知承知即礼犯必死無量光明道小宇宙上回復権同社結晶道南省微妙浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満卒業感染症三部三神軽音言ドマ法明道品一生増悪地偶税知らん了解証明か天皇国名不詳意大愛上産業逆悪公明明の権威年海流本願大地会行者小樹本合心狂気一連総領領意外と逆三人即小発祥修上楽原神公開一大教偏気安養官一切先祖修士反戦人法権二道小面部60悪に小流外薬剤非摂取中本能証言水分権大気有権上昇が本寺有空病流教天理天幕本部に新州上昇高原州先着本願無悪性現代生寺臨前芸決地義上位昇進即入学上無意なる一心仏教大事修士 시로 조사이는 노비정비라드 노정비시로 시신 이가 시시
Okay, if you'll please rise if you're able and turn to page 17 in your service book. We're going to have the Vandana Ti-Sarana, and please remain standing for the three treasures on page 18. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami. Difficult is it to receive life in human form? Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma? Now we hear it. If we do not receive awakening in the present life, then in what life can we hope to receive it? let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together as one, begin on the great path of enlightenment, holding in our hearts supreme aspiration. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together as one, enter the storehouse of the Dharma and attain true wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together as one, uniting in harmony, strive to live for the enlightenment of all beings. The incomparable, deep, and profound Dharma is difficult to encounter even through countless ages and kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us endeavor to thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Buddha Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, you may be seated. Okay, and now we'll have a Dharma talk by Rinban Inoue.
Good morning, everyone. Most of you are online, I think. And I was surprised that last night the wind was so strong, and probably it was the hardest storm I've ever experienced. And I hope everyone is safe at home, and the flood damage hasn't been so serious anywhere in Hawaii. And last month, another natural disaster in Japan, Kumamoto Prefecture. July 28th, there was a big earthquake, magnitude 7.1, and many houses were destroyed and human life lost. So natural disasters, we cannot, even with our current technology, scientific knowledge, we cannot foresee when earthquake hit or the exact course of hurricane. So the power of nature is still beyond human control. And that was in human history all the time. Shinran Shonin also experienced those natural disasters in his lifetime, 90 years of his life. And there were 4 major disasters he experienced, and all related to his study, learning of the Buddhism. As you know, he was ordained at the age of 9. It was 1181, the first Yowa era. And he was still young, 9 years old. And present days counting, it's 8 years old. And why he was ordained so early? One of the reasons probably was that year, Kyoto was, many people in Kyoto suffered this Yowa's great famine because of the drought and the civil war between Genji and Heishi, those 2 samurai families. Not enough food was there in Kyoto, and many people, thousands of people died in Kyoto. And one of the reasons young Shinran Shonin and his brothers were ordained at so young was probably due to this natural disaster. And the second one in his life, the major natural disaster, was when he traveled from Niigata, Echigo to Kanto. At that time, he was exiled to Echigo and spent 7 years in Niigata, Echigo province. And with his family, he moved from Echigo to Kanto, present-day Ibaraki Prefecture area. And during that travel, this travel was at the time of great famine also. And at one station in Kozuke, he was asked by the villagers, because so many villagers died because of this famine and epidemic at that time. And Shinran Shonin was asked to chant sutras for a prayer ritual. Probably they asked for the rain to they needed rain at that time, and many people died. So villagers asked Shinran Shonin to chant sutras for this prayer ritual. So he couldn't say no. He saw the suffering of people and their earnest requests. So he started chanting 3 Pure Land Sutras 1,000 times. It may take probably 3 or 4 days or a week. And he continued to do that. And during that time, he realized, he learned from Honen Shonin that only Namu Amida Butsu is necessary. You don't need to study, or you don't need to do prayer rituals or other practices. And he thought about it, and he stopped before finishing this 1,000 chanting of 3 Pure Land Sutras. But local people expected Shinran Shonin to complete that. So when he left that village, he had some unsolved problem. He wanted to do something beneficial for the people suffering from this epidemic and famine. But all he could do was encourage them to say Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu. And he didn't finish that prayer ritual because he didn't believe in the effect of those prayer ritual, kaji kito. So this was very serious problem in his mind, and it continued to be Shinran Shonin's problem. He wanted to do something beneficial for the people, and he wanted to respond to people's expectation for the Buddhist priest to do those prayer rituals for rain making and healing diseases also. Shinran Shonin didn't believe in the effect of those magical, superstitious prayer ritual. So he didn't do that. But in his mind, what he could do for those people who expect him to do some beneficial practice for all sentient beings. Is it okay just to say Namu Amida Butsu? That was a big question for Shinran Shonin for many years. And in his last experience of probably the hardest one was the Shoka era, when Shinran Shonin was 86 years old to 90 years old. His last 4 years, he lived in Kyoto, and Japan was everywhere, not only Japan, but worldwide disaster, natural disaster at that time. In 1257, Mount Samaras volcano erupted in Indonesia, and volcanic ashes covered the entire earth. And there were no summers for 2 or 3 years. The entire earth was covered with those ash, and no agricultural product produce was very drastically cut because of this no summer. And it was recorded that it snowed in summertime in Japan. So it was very cold for several years. And famine, without food, people suffered famine, and epidemic spread. So many people died all over the world, not only in Japan. Probably in Japan, 1/3 or half of the population, according to Nichiren Shonin's writing, more than a half, but probably 40% or 50%. Many people died because of this great famine. And during that time, Shinran Shonin continued to think about what he could do for the people suffering from those natural disasters. And his conclusion was just say the Nembutsu. And by saying Namu Amida Butsu, we can join the company of the truly settled. Shoujoju no kurai. And by joining the company of the truly settled, those who join the company of truly settled can be part of Amida Buddha's great compassion. So even though we can do a little bit, each of us can do very little, but this company of the truly settled, those people who entrust themselves to the real working of Amida's original vow, combined together, we could do something to change the difficult situation. That was, I think, Shinran Shonin's message for us. So in that sense, Jodo Shinshu is a very hopeful religion. In the face of natural disaster and other almost hopeless situation, by saying Namu Amida Butsu and entrusting ourselves to the working of Amida's great compassion, we can be part of that working. So saying Namu Amida Butsu is joining the working of benefiting all sentient beings. That was not our own doing, our intention, but Amida's working. By entrusting ourselves to the working of Amida, its original vow, we can become part of that great compassion. And in chapter 4 of Tannisho, Shinran Shonin said about this Pure Land, the compassion of the Pure Land, compared with usual, ordinary compassion. This is called compassion of the path of the sages. This Pure Land compassion is different in the sense that by saying Namu Amida Butsu, we quickly become the Buddha. We quickly attain Buddhahood. And with the heart of great compassion of Amida, we can benefit all sentient beings as fully as possible. That's Shinran Shonin's word during that great famine of Shoka era. So if we look at this attitude, Shinran Shonin suffered from the Shoka era's famine too. He himself contracted this epidemic, and he was in bed for many days at the age of 86. But in that situation, he emphasized that we can do something for the benefit of all sentient beings. And that is saying Namu Amida Butsu and entrust ourselves to the working of Amida's great compassion in this real life. So I hope this very positive, hopeful message of Jodo Shinshu can be shared by many people who actually suffer today in Kumamoto and other area of the world. And yesterday we had a district committee, annual committee meeting, and we decided to donate $5,000 to district donate this amount to the relief of earthquake damage from this Kumamoto earthquake. And we'd like to organize, each temple of the Hawaii district will donate some money for the relief of this Kumamoto earthquake. We hope that you can contribute something for the relief, those who suffer from the natural disasters in Kumamoto. And in the future, we expect much larger natural disaster in Japan and the other part of the world too. So especially in Japan, Nankai Trough, the South Sea Trough, we expect the huge earthquake to hit within 30 years. Maybe before I die, that may happen. So we should be prepared for that. And if somebody worry about that, we should continue to spread this message of Jodo Shinshu and how we can cope with that kind of huge, great disaster. I think Jodo Shinshu's Nembutsu can be hope for those who will suffer from the natural disaster. はい、日本語で少し 昨晩からハリケーンで多くの人が、恐れおののくような風が強くてですね、怖かったと思います。私も一番これまでで経験した強い風だったので、家が大丈夫か心配をいたしました。で、自然の力に対して人間が無力であるっていうのは、私たちは台風を止めたりすることはできない。同じように地震もそうですね。地震も私たちの力で予測することはある程度できるかもしれないけれども、いつ起きるということが分かってもそれを止めることはできない。で、そういう状況で考えると、私たちが生きていく中で、そういう自然災害とか、あるいは病気もそうです。私たちの力でそれを止めたり、治したりですね、そうすることが、現代の医学をもっても難しいところがある。そういう中で、そういう病気や自然災害について親鸞上人も同じような経験をされています。生涯の中で4回ぐらい大きな飢饉に遭遇されて、その度に親鸞上人の人生が変わっていらっしゃる。9歳の時の養和の飢饉では、出家の一つの理由は、飢饉で多くの人が食べ物が食べられなくなった。そういう状況の中で仏門に入った。それから、越後から、流罪にあった新潟の越後から関東に移られる途中で、三部教千部読獣という経験をされていますが、地元の人が自然災害で疫病で大勢亡くなったところを通ったときに、旅のお坊さんに、雨が降るように、作物がまた実るようにご祈祷をしてほしいと。そのためにお経をたくさん何回も読む。そのことを頼まれてですね、親鸞上人断れずに始めるわけです。ところが、途中で法然上人の教えを自分は受けて、ただ念仏だけでいいというふうに、そういう生き方を決めたのに、どうして私はご祈祷のようにお経を読んでいるのか、そういう迷い、考えた末に途中でやめてそこを立ち去ることになります。ただ、やっぱり村人の苦しんでいる村人から期待されて、それをご祈祷のように家事祈祷を始めて、途中でやめたっていう経験が、親鸞上人の中で非常に強い、問題意識として残っていらっしゃった。で、それが、17年後ですかね、関東にいるときに寛義の内政というのがありまして、そのことを思い出して、関東で同じような飢饉があったときに、17年前のこの経験を思い出していらっしゃいます。それから亡くなられる、4年ぐらい前ですけれども、86歳の時、商家の大飢饉というのがありまして、これは、3700年、過去3700年で最大と言われている火山噴火がインドネシアのロンボク島というところのサマラス山であって、その火山灰が地球全体を覆って、何年間か夏がなかったと。で、作物が実らない中で大勢の人が餓死して疫病にかかって亡くなっていったと。世界中で、日本だけでなくて、大勢この数年間で人間の命が失われている。そういうのを親鸞上人ご自身が経験されて、この時も病気に感染して寝込まれています。そういう記録が残っております。そういう中で親鸞上人がずっと考えていらっしゃったことは、私たちはただ念仏しているだけでいいのかと。念仏にどういう衆生を利益する働きがあるのかということを考え続けられて、で、親鸞上人が最後に到達され、強調されたのは、本願を信じて念仏を申すということは、阿弥陀仏の本願の働き、大慈大悲の大いなる慈悲の働きの中に一つになることだと。ですから私たちは一人一人の力は微力、ほんの少しですけれども、みんながその正成寺の位集まりに加わることを通して阿弥陀仏の大悲が働いていくと。その中に入るということとして、お念仏を唱えることの大きな意味があるんだと。ですから、南無阿弥陀仏というふうに唱える中に、阿弥陀仏の本願の働きに加わっていく、そういう深い意味があるということを強調されています。そういう意味で、私たち一人一人には克服できないような大きな問題に直面したときにですね、死はそうです。死や病気や自然災害、そういうものに直面したときに、お念仏を通して、希望を持って生きられると。どうせ死ぬんだからとか、どうせ避けられないんだからということではなくて、そういう人生の問題、生の問題、生死の問題に希望を持って大悲の働きに加わっていくという形でお念仏申すことができる。そこが親鸞上人が 長年の自然災害やご自身の病気、そういうものを通して強調されたところであります。今日はハリケーンなら少し通過したようで、風は収まってきましたけれども、まだ洪水等の心配あるかと思います。皆さんが、命が一番大事ですから、そういう意味では、命の安全ということが、保たれるように願って、今日のダルマメッセージとしたいと思います。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much, Rinban. I always enjoy hearing about the historical context. Oftentimes we learned about these stories in Shinran's life, but tying it into the history, I never knew about the huge volcano eruption in Indonesia that, rapid and widespread climate change throughout the world. And, Shinran Shonin lives through some pretty turbulent times. And so I think that's why his experiences and his teachings really kind of resonate with us who are also living through some pretty wild situations. So, we're grateful to Shinran for his example. And thank you, Rinban. Okay, so we've got some announcements for what's coming up. The Japanese for Travelers class has been canceled for today. Hopefully it'll clear up by next week. We have our lunch bunch coming up this Tuesday at 11:30. So we'll be meeting here at 11:30, and then we're going to be driving down and carpooling over to the Midtown Eats. So probably get there around 11:50 or so. We'll be there before noon. And so they've got all kinds of wonderful restaurants there. And so, plenty to choose from. So please come out and join us. We're going to have our next Sunday service on the 23rd. Then Japanese for Travelers will be at noon after that. And we've got our ukulele band practice on Tuesday at 3 p.m. No dinner and a movie night this month. But on the 26th, we're going to be having the World Double Gathering in Brazil. So all the folks who are going on that trip, we will be meeting people from around the world, other Higashi members from around the world, and getting to have an adventure in Brazil in our South America district. For those of you who are going to be here in town, 828 Friday at 10 a.m. is going to be the Shinran Shonin Memorial Service. So every month on the 28th, we have our memorial service for Shinran. We have more elaborate chanting, and we also have the reading of our Ofumi letters that were written by Renyo Shonin. So you get to see a slightly different kind of service. So we also broadcast that on YouTube every month. On the 30th, we also have a Sunday service at 10 o'clock, and following that will be the Japanese for Travelers. So are there any other announcements? Okay. Well, if you'll please rise and turn to page 112, we will sing Ondokusan to close off our service. And once again, thank you so much for all of you watching out there. And Okay, you folks have a great Sunday. Have a great weekend. Please stay safe and stay dry. Check around for leaks around the house, and I hope you all, hope we get to see you folks all next week. Take care.